Welcome back, creative friends! In our last video, we designed our adorable bear in Nomad Sculpt. Today, we're going to bring our creation to life using Bambu Studio and our 3D printer. If you're new to 3D printing, you might be wondering what Bambu Studio actually is. Think of it as the translator between your 3D model and your printer. Your 3D printer doesn't understand 3D models directly. It needs specific instructions on how to build your model layer by layer. Bambu Studio is what we call a slicer program. It takes your 3D model and literally slices it into hundreds of thin layers. Then, it creates a set of instructions telling your printer exactly how to print each layer, where to move, how much plastic to use, how fast to go, and so much more. It's like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure everything happens in perfect harmony. If you haven't installed it yet, you can download it for free from the bambulab website. The installation is straightforward. Just follow the on-screen instructions, and you'll be ready to go in minutes. Let's talk about filaments, the materials we use for 3D printing. Think of filaments as the ink for your 3D printer, except instead of colors, you're choosing different materials with unique properties. There are several common types. PLA. This is the most beginner-friendly filament. It's made from plant-based materials, doesn't smell when printing, and comes in countless colors. Perfect for decorative items like our cute bear. ABS. Stronger than PLA but requires higher temperatures and can produce fumes when printing. It's great for functional parts that need durability, but it's more challenging for beginners because it can warp during printing and really needs an enclosed printer to work well. TPU. This is flexible and rubbery. Imagine making squishy toys or phone cases. However, it prints much slower than PLA and can be tricky to get right because of its flexibility. The very thing that makes it special also makes it harder to print with. PETG, a good middle ground between PLA and ABS. Stronger than PLA, but easier to print than ABS. For today's project, we're using PLA because it's perfect for beginners and ideal for decorative figures. For our cute bear, I've chosen something special, a gold and silver mixed filament from Polymaker. Isn't it unique? If you were making something like a piggy bank with this, it would look like it's bringing good fortune. I've also selected some pastel-colored filaments for a cuter finish. These are from Polymaker's Polyterra line, which offers beautiful, soft colors perfect for adorable creations like our bear. One important thing to note, Polymaker and many other brands use cardboard spools, which can sometimes catch in the AMS, automatic material system. In some cases, you might need to print a filament spool holder to improve the feeding and prevent filament breaks. First, let's select all objects in Nomad Sculpt and export them as an STL file. Now, let's open Bambu Studio. Once it's launched, go to the Prepare tab and drag and drop our exported STL file into the workspace. Now we can see our cute bear in Bambu Studio. Let's adjust our print settings. I've made 3 important changes for this print. First, I've reduced the infill to just 5%. The infill is the internal structure inside your model. Think of it as the grid inside. By reducing it to 5%, we're using much less filament and significantly reducing print time. However, there's a trade-off. Your model won't be as strong. For a decorative figure like our bear that won't be handled roughly, this is perfectly fine. But if you are making something that needs to be durable, You might want to increase this. Second, I've adjusted the seam position to the back. The seam is where each layer starts and stops, which can sometimes leave a visible line. By positioning it at the back, we make sure our bear's cute face remains perfectly smooth without any distracting lines. Third, I've changed the support type to tree. Supports are temporary structures that your printer builds to hold up parts of your model that would otherwise be printing in mid-air. Think about our bear's arms and the space between its legs. Without supports, your printer would be trying to print plastic in thin air, which simply won't work. 3D printers build layer by layer from the bottom up, so any part that extends outward with nothing beneath it needs temporary support. Finally, choose which filament from the AMS you want to use for printing. Now that we've adjusted our settings, let's slice our model by clicking the Slice button. This tells Bambu Studio to process our model with all the settings we've chosen. Once slicing is complete, we can see some useful information. Print time. This shows how long our bear will take to print. We can also preview our print layer by layer using the slider bar on the left side. This is a great way to check for any potential issues before we start printing. Look at how the layers build up to create our cute bear. Take a moment to review this preview carefully. It's much better to catch any problems now before spending time and filament on printing. If everything looks good, we're ready to print. I'll click on Print and send it to my bambulab printer. Once printing begins, if you're using an X1 Carbon like I am, you can monitor the printing process through the Device tab in Bambu Studio. You can also check on your print through the Bambu Handy smartphone app, which allows you to monitor your printing progress even when you're away from home. If you turn on notifications in the app, you'll receive alerts if the print fails for any reason. After printing is complete, please be careful as the build plate will be very hot. It's safer and easier to wait a few minutes for it to cool down before removing your print. Once the plate has cooled sufficiently, we need to carefully remove the supports. Modern printers like our bambulab have made supports much easier to remove than they used to be. Be gentle when removing supports, especially around delicate features like the arms and legs. And here it is, our adorable 3D printed bear is complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and are inspired to create your own cute designs. Remember, 3D printing is all about experimenting and having fun. I've uploaded this bear model to MakerWorld, so you can download it and create your own version too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Happy printing!